Alright, today we are going over how to get even bigger chest. Whenever you can learn from someone else's mistake, you should always do that. But I feel like most of the time when people see something like that, they feel like, oh yeah, this person did that, stop doing this and grew a bit. But I don't want to give up my weights, especially my lifts, but I still want to get the results. And eventually, their ego will stop them from learning. That being said, it's just going to be an educational video about Joe's journey, how he got a bigger chest, and how you can even make it better so you can get an even bigger chest. So if you are ready, look at the form. We are talking about someone with very long arms, so that means that his range of motion is going to be way bigger compared to someone with shorter arms. But even then, if you want to grow your chest, you need to clear up your setup and execution. If you look at his elbows, how flat they were, you need to remember your chest prefers a way closer elbow position because it can use your rib cage as a pulley. So anatomically, if you are flaring your elbow, you are giving leverage for your shoulder, and it is favored with the exercise. But if you keep it closer, there's going to be more chest. It doesn't mean that this is zero chest, it just means that it is going to be more shoulder.
You can better activate your pecs and get a fuller range of motion.
Even though he highlights the range of motion in the clip, he showed the opposite. He was getting way less range of motion, and also look at the elbows. They are still flat, really far away from the body. But if you notice his delts on the picture, they are crazy developed, and that is expected from a position where you are biasing your delts anyway. You can move to an incline dumbbell bench press. It is going to bias the upper region of your chest, but it is still going to train everything. But the majority of the volume for your chest comes from the middle and the lower section, so it would make sense to focus on them more. But if you look at the video, this is an even better angle to see that what I was talking about before, the flat elbows, and also not passing the range of motion, but the exercise is supposed to train you. And I was talking about this part, is the bottom part. You don't have to go all the way down, or at least this low down, but you definitely want to pass this point because this is the part what you are trying to train. This is also the hardest part because this is where the muscle is going to be perpendicular to the resistance. So if you never go down, then you are never truly training the muscle what you're supposed to train with this exercise.
A bit lighter on this Saturday to avoid too much strain on my shoulders, and purely on this day just focus on mind-muscle connection.
This is going to stir up some controversy, but mind-muscle connection is not even important. You will feel a stronger contraction based on the exercise and movement you are picking. If you picked a movement what's going to train you at a longer muscle length, so that's going to be a bench press, then it is really difficult to feel the muscle because it is somewhat stretched. So it is super difficult to contract your muscle when it is stretched in a bench press. But if you pick an exercise for training the muscle at a shorter length, just like a chest fly, it is child's play to feel it because it is already a maximally contracted position for the chest. And this is why mind-muscle connection is not important at all. It is always going to be your setup, execution, and how well you can maintain your form throughout the set.
So I stopped doing this exercise and instead
I changed it up to this variation.
He changed the standing fly to a seated one. Let me explain the beauty of this change. It is going to be stability. It is something what I've been preaching on nearly every video on my channel. The more stable you are, the more force you can output with the targeted muscle you are training. And this is also the reason why I keep telling you that have a stable setup and a good execution.
Mind-muscle connection and really burning your chest out. I don't think there's an exercise.
I already touched on the mind-muscle connection, and the burn is nothing else just trapping metabolites and the muscle swelling up. It has nothing to do how well you train the muscle and if it's going to cause hypertrophy or not, or there's going to be the muscle growth. Although he makes a fair point to push it close to failure or even to failure. But I also want you to notice his form, his elbow positioning. You see, whenever you are doing a chest fly, your main goal is to get the insertion really close to the origin, and that's going to be the upper arm all the way to the midline of your body. And for that, you have to get a straight arm. So if you keep it bent, your range of motion is decreased. And I'm not saying that it is not going to train your chest, but it is not as effective as if you were to getting it completely straight at the top. And as you descend, you can get your arm bent because you want to decrease the moment arm and the tension on your biceps, because that's not the part what you are training anyway. Implement these tips, and I can promise you that your chest are going to grow a lot. And if somehow this video reaches Joe, I'm pretty sure that if he uses these, he's going to get even bigger chest without changing the exercises what he's doing. Anyway, if you learned something from the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. For coaching, hit the link in the description. Talk to you soon.